What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Back for round two. What's up, Camlish? What's up, Sandra? Y'all come on in. We gonna get it in. What's up, Diana? Y'all come on in. We gonna get started. We'll give him another minute and we'll get started. All right, let us begin. How about that? Now, y'all know I did part one. I think it was Saturday, and I touched a lot of what I wanted to touch, but there's a lot of things that I didn't get a chance. A lot of material I didn't get a chance to get to. So we want to cover it here in part two, because now I see it was so much material left. It was worth a second go round, right? So I'm gonna start off with the Jedi Fallen Order game. You see what I'm saying? Which is an introduction of another black woman who was in her power. Now, the Jedi of old is telling the story of us when we was in our power. You see what I'm saying? But later on down the timeline, shit happened on this planet, and they took our psychics, wizards, Jedi, Magi, and they forced them to work for them or they would be killed. You see what I'm saying? So they became Cabal occultists. You see what I'm saying? So Jedi Fallen Order talks about this. The few who chose not to fucking, adhere to that new program, right? So it takes place just after Revenge of the Sith. You see what I'm saying? Just after the fall of the Republic or whatever. So this is telling the story of what happened. During this time period, how the Jedi fell out of power. You see what I'm saying? Because they were working for the Cabal, and now they in the Empire. You see what I'm saying? The electromagnetic soul, and they out of place because now their people is gone. You see what I'm saying? Most of their people have been purged. You see what I'm saying? So now the Empire is in power, ruled by the Emperor himself, Darth Sidious, and he has Darth Vader going around the galaxy hunting motherfuckers. Well, now there was a Jedi Master by the name of Cordova who he collected a holocron. A holocron is nothing but a library of information, or a library of Force knowledge. How about that? To be precise, you see what I'm saying? And only those who's Force sensitive and can tap into the Force can open these holocrons, right? So what happens next is, Cordova dies. He leaves his teachings for his student, who was Seer Junda. Now enters the black woman. Now, the black woman had her own student. Damn, I can't think of the girl name in the world. I know she was called Second Sister in the movie. Oh, Trilla. There it is, Trilla. Who was also another black woman in the movie. And there was her apprentice, and some shit went down, and they both got captured by the Empire and was tortured. But Seer Junda escaped, and her student was locked in there, locked in the system. You see what I'm saying? And so what happened next is what? What happens is she pretty much denounces being a Jedi. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't worth being a Jedi at this point in time anyway, cause the cycles had changed on. You see what I'm saying? When the cycles change like that, then shit happens. But a lot of people were upset with the game because a lot of people wanted to play with Seer Junda, right? Now, who is Seer Junda? I'm about to show you an image of her. Cause I want to put this on screen, cause usually you never get a chance to see or even know that a black woman even played this role. You see what I'm saying? Here she is. That's Seer Junda. Now her name says a lot. Seer or Seer Junda, which is an alternative spelling for Kundalini. So you see what I'm saying? The Kundalini Seer. So she was the observer in this game. They went and got a character by the name of Cal Kestis, who had also was a fallen Jedi, Padawan, and you play with him for most of the game. But a lot of people were upset because of the missed opportunity. Like, nah, we want to play with the black woman. You telling us we got this powerful woman who can tap into both dark and light sides of the Force, and we can't play with her? We got to play with this still-ass character? Yep, that's what they did. And she could tap into both sides of the Force. Now, when we talk about the dark and light sides of the Force, or yin and yang, what is it? The dark, we'll start with the light side. The light side teaches you that you are your own savior. You see what I'm saying? And those are the soul arts. You see what I'm saying? So it teaches you that you are your own savior. Now, the dark side, which is the melanin arts, teaches you that you are your own monster. You see what I'm saying? But when people ask me, Marv, so which side should I choose? Neither. Your heart should always be in a state of supreme balance or neutral. So, and that gives you access to the androgynous state, so you can be a holistic being, or you can tap into the Force in a holistic manner. You see what I'm saying? It's totality. You can harness both dark and light sides of Force when you're living in this state of androgyny or holism. You see what I'm saying? So that's what she represented in this movie, and she wielded a green lightsaber, which was the heart chakra, cause she was dealing with a lot of bullshit that happened, a lot of crazy shit. So of course her lightsaber color was green. You see what I'm saying? And her Force is so powerful in this game that she went toe to toe with Darth Vader, and who at this time was probably the third most powerful character in the fucking Star Wars mythos, next to Master Yoda and the Emperor, and she used her Force and made even Darth Vader bow. That's how powerful her shit was. You see what I'm saying? But the game is a case study, because when she starts tapping into her melanin, her darkness, this Cal Kestis character was trying to stop her from tapping into her melanin, even though they was on the verge of getting killed. Why the fuck would you kill what aspect of anything I tap into when a motherfucker's trying to murder us? You see what I'm saying? That lets you know, and what they're showing you here is it don't matter what's happening. They don't want you tapping into this melanin monster. You see what I'm saying? This melanin monster. How they tell you in the Bible that the beast rose up out of the sea. You see what I'm saying? That's your melanin monster rising up out of your subconscious and unconscious mind, the darkest part of you. You see what I'm saying? Your melanin, inside of you is pretty much a realm, a melanin realm, your own personal melanin realm, which you can tap into where this melanin monster dwells or lives. That one day you're going to have to go in, confront, and summon and reconnect with. You see what I'm saying? And they call them Abaddon, the destroyer. Of course, your melanin monster is a destroyer. You see what I'm saying? It fucks shit up. Anytime you was in trouble, and my stars know all about this, and you was dealing with some bullshit, and all of a sudden something inside of you just awoken and start fucking some shit up, I best believe that was your melanin monster. That was your Abaddon. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's funny. The generator, they call Christ in the Bible, or Christ. You see what I'm saying? The operator is actually you now in the physical, because you are operating at this moment in time, so living out of the force. And the destroyer is your melanin monster. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because the generator is the Christ energy, the angelic energy, your source angelic self. You see what I'm saying? Your higher self. So of course, your melanin monster is your monstrous self. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So generator is the light side, destroyer is the dark side, and operator is that which is in between. You see what I'm saying? The middle path. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here when we talk about the force. So you seeing this in the game. You see what I'm saying? You seeing this in the game. Well, literally this dude that she so-called went and got in train, which she didn't even need to get in train. It was actually her storyline, but he did it for her. You see what I'm saying? He did it for her, and she became the observer. The wise old oracle. They always making us the oracles in the movie, or the overseers, or just the watchers. You see what I'm saying? Like they did with Mace Windu. The only time we seen Mace Windu get down was in Revenge of the Sith, for real. He tapped in a little bit in Clone Wars, but she didn't see much of it. You see what I'm saying? You ain't see much of it. So this is what's going on here. And it gets interesting here because it shows you that they feel that melanin monster more than they feel a motherfucker trying to murder them. You see what I'm saying? That more than they feel the archonic energies of this society. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what Darth Vader represented in this moment. You see what I'm saying? The archonic energies of this society. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? The Darth Father came to see them. And they was up underwater, the subconscious mind. And when she tapped into their force, her melanin, that's when even Darth Vader had to bow. Like, oh damn. Oh, she got it. And then she let this white boy, this corrupted character, Cal Kestis, talk her out of it. And guess what happened? When he talked her out of it, Darth Vader came up and she put up a force shield and he almost stabbed through that shit and killed her. See what I'm saying? So even though they was in a life-threatening situation, they still don't want to see you tap into your melanin. You see what I'm saying? Your inner melanin monster. Even though she had all the reason in the world to tap in. You see what I'm saying? In that moment, it was a survival situation. So there y'all go. That's what's going on here. Now, last time I didn't bring my images, but this time I did bring some of my images. So, when I talked about the lightsaber, you see what I'm saying? The lightsaber. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You got the Jed pillar here and the lightsaber here. But they're both one and the same. You see what I'm saying? And, all you gotta do, like I always say, is turn the Jed pillar around. And they look exactly the same. Look like a lightsaber hilt, don't it? Yep. Look like a lightsaber hilt. Now, the Jed pillar has its secrets. You see what I'm saying? It's on the lightsaber too, as you can see in these little prongs here. But the Jed pillar has 4 pillars. What do they represent? It represents the levels or hierarchies you go through as a Jedi. You start off as a youngling, then a Padawan, then a knight, and then a master. You see what I'm saying? You achieve the master status. That's what it means to go through the Jedi. That's what it means to go through the Jedi path. You see what I'm saying? Just want to put that on record. Let's see. What else here? Of course, the Jedi Master himself, Tehuti. You see what I'm saying? Tehuti or Jehuti. Him on the Emerald Tablet itself. An image of him on the Emerald Tablets. Which the Emerald Tablets is that much your heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? The secrets of your heart chakra, to be precise. You see what I'm saying? Let's see what else we got here. See what else we got here. Another one. This the ram-headed god, Bane of Jed Tet. See what I'm saying? Bane of Jed Tet. You know, they always talk about their ram symbolism that I was telling y'all about in the movie. So you seeing it, the ram. Then you got Hot Mahit. You see what I'm saying? The fish-headed goddess. You see what I'm saying? The fish goddess, Hot Mahit. And you know, the Hot Mahit represented what? You know, there's always a lot of fish symbolism. That fish is the inner deity in your subconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And this is what you transform into. You know, once you do the internal work, this is what you transforming into. You go from your basic self, and you elevate all the way up to your true God self. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And that's the creator up there, and that's the rays of light, the rainbow, the rainbow energies or rainbow frequencies of what? Your chakra system. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So this is all about you becoming God again. This is the aspect known as Homo Luminous. You see what I'm saying? This is what they don't want you to become. This again. You see what I'm saying? The awakened one, the Master Jedi. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Just some of the images. So this is what they showing you in these movies. You know how to become the Jedi. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The master force wielder, the master of stability, the master of the master sorcerer, the master of the source energy. You see what I'm saying? And a master is nothing but a melanated star. You see what I'm saying? One who's gained great comprehension of a thing. That's all a master is. You see what I'm saying? That's what the word means, melanated star. Ma, which is melanin, and Aster, it means star. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Or soul. You see what I'm saying? So the melanated soul. And it just means one who has great comprehension of a thing. That's all it means. So, you know, in these movies that I went over last time, we talked about this Skywalker lineage, the Star Walker. You see what I'm saying? The Soul Walkers, the Day Walkers, the Sun Walkers. You see what I'm saying? The Solar Walkers. You see what I'm saying? Many different names for the same energy. But they talked about in episode 9, which I'm gonna touch on a lot more in this video. They talk about Rise of Skywalker, or Rise of the Star Walker, or the Soul Walker. You see what I'm saying? The Day Walker. They talked about this concept, and they showed you how it was done. Like I was telling y'all last time, we got Ray training in the woods, and she you know, they show you her levitating, and rocks are going around her, and it looks like an atom. She her own atom right now. She her own nucleus in her own universe, and she just saying she chanting a mantra, "Be with me." You see what I'm saying? Be with me. Trying to connect with her Jedi ancestors. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Trying to connect with that ancient soul lineage or spiritual lineage that she's part of. You see what I'm saying? And you know, at first it didn't work, but we're gonna get to the part where it do. Come to find out, the Emperor has returned. He been, like I said, raising hell for 9 movies. Kylo Ren, Sam Jizzle, you know, he goes to meet them, and he goes to meet the Emperor, and Emperor Soot tells him, "I need you to kill the girl." But come to find out, she is his granddaughter. She's a Palpatine. She's a palpitation. A palpitation is nothing but they say a regular heartbeat, but it's just an explosive heartbeat. It could be, it don't always have to be bad. Everything they deal in the negative in this society. There's always something wrong with you, so they can fucking practice on you in their fucking their doctor shit, health shit that they be doing. Their practice, so they can learn more about you, or have an excuse to learn more about you and operate on you. You see what I'm saying? So, she found out she a Palpatine. There's a scene with her and Kylo Ren, and they had kidnapped Chewbacca, and she used the Force to catch the ship, and then Kylo Ren came into the picture, and he tried to stop her from bringing the ship down with her Force, and she shot out Force lightning from her fingers, and that's how she found out she was a Palpatine. And then that's when Kylo Ren would later on tell her she was a Palpatine. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. This is her ascension into Jedihood. A full mission. Like I said, you had that rogue hero level, which is the physical hero, or the hero on the physical plane. You had the demigod level, which they had 1 foot in both realms, both the physical and the spiritual, which is the in between. You see what I'm saying? That semi-dimension between both the mystical, spiritual realm, soul realms, the Force, and the physical realm. You see what I'm saying? So they lived in between. She was still a demigod in this movie until she ascended to become a Jedi and a full god in this movie. That's what they mean by Rise of the Skywalker, the Star Walker. She became a true Jedi, a true goddess in this movie. Cause she had that sick mission energy. Ray just mean real light. So it goes down. What happens? Many things happen in this movie. You see what I'm saying? I talked about Finn. Talked about how he was the living Jedi. Talked about how, because he was the living Jedi, the precursor, the true and living ancestors who started all this shit, it set in motion events all across that rippled all across timeline to do what? To put things, the Force used him to put things in motion, set things in motion. Like I said, everybody was just doing the same old shit, status quo. And the Force operates off spontaneity. You see what I'm saying? Spontaneousness. And when there's no spontaneousness, there's no creativity. And when there's no creativity, then the muses are shut down, stagnation prevails, and everybody self-destructs. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no chaos, there's no melanin, there's no inspiration to continue to bring forth new things. So most people just that's when civilizations be destroyed. When they become so stagnant, so inert, that they begin to self-destruct, like what you're seeing in America right now. Things are starting to self-destruct in America because America has become stagnant in their creative, in their areas of creativity. Most movies in the theaters are now remakes. You see what I'm saying? Just telling the same old story, not trying new things. Every now and again you'll get something new in the cracks, but that's probably like 3 movies a year, and they drop 52 movies a year. You see what I'm saying? At least, bare minimum. So you're talking about 3 to 5 movies a year. Out of those 52 movies, that's of new material, that's not a good look. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you're seeing here. That's what you're seeing, and there's some powerful scenes in the movie. One where, one with Finn and Jaina. The one where Rey finds the Wayfinder and runs into her shadow self and her subconscious. But another powerful scene is when her and Kylo Ren are fighting on Endor, and Leia dies. He feels that, and Rey stabs and heals him. Because the whole point of Skywalker is to heal. You got to regenerate yourself to govern yourself. You see what I'm saying? You got to heal yourself. Heal your internal wounds. You see what I'm saying? That which is hurting you. You see what I'm saying? Because these Star Wars movies are really happening inside you. They're soul movies. Star Wars just means Soul Wars. You see what I'm saying? So, and they're using this force, this unified metaphysical field to get things done. You see what I'm saying? They're vessels or catalysts or conduits of this energy, so that they can go out and create more balance in the universe via their paths. You see what I'm saying? Their soul journeys. So that's what's happening here. That's what's happening. So, you know, you have a lot going on in this movie. There's a scene where Kylo Ren, his daddy, reappears. You know, his ancestor, Han Solo, reappears to him. And, you know, they're having a conversation there. And he was like, I don't know if I had the strength to do this shit no more. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I had the strength to take it to the next level. And his papa said, yes, you do. Yes, you do. But Kylo Ren got to die. You done with the dark side. You done with the clip off. You got to come out of there so you can ascend into the source. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happened. He ascended back into his original self, which was Ben Solo. And like I said, it's always that Ben. Why is it always the Ben? This time it's Ben Solo. The last time it was old Ben Kenobi. Ben Solo just basically means he's a lone wolf now, because all his family is dead. All the Skywalkers are dead but him. So they got to go and fight the Emperor. You see what I'm saying? They got to go and fight the Emperor and go to war with him. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Finn meets Jaina around this time, and they're talking on the ship. And she tells him how, you know, they rebelled against the First Order just like she did. Just like he did. FN 2187, they call it the Force. Or the E, the natural logarithm, if you unscramble it back to 2.718. You see what I'm saying? But she also had a number. It was TZ 1719, which TZ stands for time zone, and 1719 is literally the first, according to their story, is the first group of slaves that came into Louisiana. That was the first year slaves came into Louisiana, all right, via ship. So that's interesting. You see what I'm saying? So they literally saying that she was a former slave. You see what I'm saying? They literally made that connection in the movie with that number, TZ 1719. You see what I'm saying? So she rebelled against that energy, that slave energy, freed herself and her company, and she became Jaina, who is Inanna. You see what I'm saying? The Sumerian goddess of war, beauty, love, sex. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So she had many roles in Samaria. You see what I'm saying? Fertility, hey, the list goes on. You see what I'm saying? So she had to go through that journey of the underworld just like Inanna did. In the Sumerian text, she went through the underworld to save Tammuz. So it's funny. They went through the underworld just like Finn had to go through the underworld. Who is who? Ornis. Babylon, Ornis. You see what I'm saying? Babylonian fish deity. You know, and he's the Great Awakener. In this case, he's playing the role of the Great Awakener. That's why he's the living Jed in this movie, because he awoken, the Force awoken, and his soul energy, everybody has been receiving, and he's been bringing everybody together to do this one thing, which is pretty much save the galaxy, because the galaxy has is in a bad situation. You see what I'm saying? The final order has surfaced due to the Emperor, who is now the transmuted first order of the Phoenix. Now it's the final order of the Phoenix. You see what I'm saying? The last governmental system that rules you, basically what they're saying. And guess what? Finn brought everybody together to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? To deal with that program. So what happens here? So they talking, you know, and she tell him, yeah, we were former slaves, because basically that's what TZ 1719 was. We were former slaves, and we rebelled against the program and freed ourselves. And you know, Finn asked her, what made you do it? And he said, and she said, I don't know. It just, I can't explain it, but you know, it was something. And Finn was like, yeah, it was instinct, a feeling. You see what I'm saying? It was the Force. She was like, well, how you know the Force is real? How do you know something, this energy is real? And he was like, the Force, he tells you he was living Jed. The Force brought me to Poe. It helped me rebel against the First Order. It brought me to Rey. It brought me to all y'all. So, yeah, back then I didn't know it was real, but now I know it's real. What's up, Lil Like? But now I know it's real. You see what I'm saying? Now I know it's true. So he started exploring the Force a lot moving, and he upgraded to demigod. And she received that energy in this movie. She upgraded fully to demigod. You see what I'm saying? And now they're in between because they have an important role in this movie. You see what I'm saying? Even though if you beat the Emperor, that's cool, but this nigga still got a fucking a governmental force who these ships have planet destroying beams, death rays attached to them. You know, some old Adolf Hitler shit, right? You know, the death ray, as y'all heard so much about. These motherfuckers have planet destroying death rays attached to their ships, y'all. You talking about millions of ships, hell, thousands, hundreds of thousands of ships ready to go all across the galaxy destroying worlds, world destroying ships. You see what I'm saying? World destroying beings. So that's why it's called the Final Order. They're getting ready to destroy the galaxy. You see what I'm saying? For the most part. So what's going on here? What's happening here? You got Finn here. He brought everybody together. He tell them who he is, the living Jed. She receives their energy and she awakens to the Force, right? So what happens? They go, after she finds his wayfinder, and, they go and confront the Emperor. Well, I'm gonna talk about this before she confronts the Emperor. She makes a pit stop at Octo, where the island where Luke Skywalker was in The Last Jedi. And she losing her mind for the most part. She dealing with some shit, She dealing with that madness that you usually go through when you dealing with this Force shit from time to time. She destroys Kylo Ren's ship, and she takes a lightsaber and she throws it into the fire, and Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost catches it, right? And he was like, the weapon of a Jedi deserves more respect. You see what the fuck is you doing? And she tells him what's going on, and he's like, oh yeah, that's because we know you're a Palpatine, And she was like, how do I deal with that? You see what I'm saying? He told him, some things are more powerful than blood. This soul shit here more powerful than some fucking physical bloodline. You gotta understand that. So, it's your time. Next, he gives her Leia's lightsaber, because she was supposed to complete Leia's journey of the hero. You see what I'm saying? So now she got both Luke's and Leia's lightsaber. Lucifer, now she carrying the Luciferian energy, and she carrying Milita's energy. You see what I'm saying? Along with her own energy. So what happens here? She goes and confront the Emperor. Now she goes and confront the Emperor. The rebels, they roll up on Exegol, and pretty much all hell breaks loose, like always, right? So what's going on here? She confronts the Emperor, and the Emperor tells her, nah, I never was trying to kill you. I want you to be new Empress. And that shit fucked her up for a second, and she refused to kill him because Ben Solo showed up, and he had a cool scene where he fought the Knights of Ren, his former teammates, because he didn't return back to the light side of the Force. Well, he ascended out of the darkness and found his balance now, I guess you could say. So so now he heading for AIM. You see what I'm saying? He heading for the AIM. He mastered both the Tree of Life and the Tree of Knowledge, the Cabal and the Calypso. So now he heading for the AIM. That's above Ketha. So that's the source, the creator. And what happens next is it gets good from there. He have a cool little fight scene with him. He kicked their asses or whatever. And then he meets back up with Rey, and they both fight the Emperor. Now the Emperor finds out these two motherfuckers is a dyad in the Force, which means they pretty much yin and yang. They delivering physical embodiment of yin and yang energies in the Force. The Emperor fucking Force drains them, takes their energies, and heals himself. And goddamn drains so much they just collapse. Now this motherfucker heals himself, and he discharges Force lightning into the fucking air, y'all. and start fucking up the rebels with just pure force energy. I was like, with pure Sith lightning. I was like, God damn, this nigga is cold. The shit that nigga was doing, you knew this nigga was off the chain. You knew this nigga was that nigga. When you seen that shit in the movies, I'm like, damn. Then it gets even better than that. What happens next? Kylo Ren gets up to fight him again. He pushed that nigga off the fucking cliff. Cause Darth Vader threw him off a cliff in Return of the Jedi. So, he had to do to his grandson what the grandfather did to him. He paid that back. You see what I'm saying? So Rey laying on the ground. Probably one of the coolest scenes in the movie. She just started chanting, and she's seeing all the destruction. She's seeing what's happening to the resistance, and she's like, "Be with me." You see what I'm saying? She started chanting. She started chanting her mantra again, and because she's up under pressure this time, she's able to break through the veil of forgiveness back into the universe, which is technically her universe, and she actually can hear the voices of her Jedi ancestors. And they telling her, you got this, we with you now. So they're like, you gotta stand though, you gotta fight this, because confronting fear is the task or the job of a Jedi. So she rolls over, she picks herself up, and goddamn, she summons her lightsaber, and she go to war with the Emperor. Emperor shooting force lightning at her, but she deflecting it with her blade. The Emperor, he talking shit. You don't, you can't stand against the power within me, because all the Sith Lords are within me. Like I told y'all, she said all the Jedi are within me, but actually both the Jedi and the Sith are within her, because she has Emperor Palpatine's blood. So she has a balance of both lineages inside of her. So actually she's way more powerful than him. She just don't know it. So she summons Leia's lightsaber, and she creates an X. Now, I always tell y'all what the X represents. It represents what? It represents the X represents in Sufi teachings the completed man or the completed woman, completed god and goddess. This is what you're saying. And X also represents in the Olmecan teachings genetic activation into a true universal power. You see what I'm saying? Universal force. So that's what you're seeing here. She tapping in now. So of course, and she fully in tune with the Jedi ancestors. She can access their abilities. She can draw from that celestial gene pool now. So guess who ability she summoned? She summoned Mace Windu's Volpod, which allows her to deflect the lightning back onto the Emperor. You see what I'm saying? Emperor and the Emperor Palpatine shit is off the chain. So his energy is so strong that even he getting hit by his own fucking lightning fucking vaporizes, disintegrates him, right? So she destroys him with Mace Windu's Volpod, philosophical fighting style, right? Because how it works is it's a superconducting loop. You take the darkness of your opponent and you let it flow through you and send it back to them, plus whatever you have with your own power. And so he returned that lightning back to her, back to him, and fucking it vaporized him, cause his lightning was strong as fuck. His lightning literally just moments ago was fucking up a whole fleet of ships. You see what I'm saying? This is what you got going down here. So once she vaporized him, she passed out, cause she was halfway dead the first time, cause the Emperor drained of her life force. So she passed out and pretty much died. Then you got Kylo Ren, remember Rise of Skywalker. He already mastered both trees at this point. So he climbs back up out of the abyss, fully, and then he heals her. And then he dies and ascends back into AIM. You see what I'm saying? The last true bloodline of the Skywalker, right? So the Star Walkers. Meanwhile, they fighting the First Order ships the resistance is fighting the First Order ships. And this is where Finn and Jaina come in. Now, it's a lot of freedom fighters show up because it was just people. There were no more governments. You see what I'm saying? This is the last government that's stopping the people from being fully free and governing themselves. That's why it's a good movie in my take, because they finally destroy all the governmental systems for the Republic, the Empire, the fucking separatists. You see what I'm saying? All these governmental systems that you don't need. So you don't need a government to govern you. So that's what Finn and Jaina, Unki, who is also on this, and Nana get together to fuck up the main ship who's about to launch this attack all across the cosmos, and they destroy it and free the people, because now, since they destroyed the ship who was sending out the signals to fucking go out and to different parts of the galaxy to destroy all these planets if they didn't bend to their will, so they saved the galaxy. You see what I'm saying? They got together, upgraded to demigod level with their force, and it was funny. It was a beautiful scene in the movie where they was getting ready to destroy the broadcaster, the satellite that was broadcasting, but they switched it to one of the ships. Now it was like hundreds of thousands of ships, right? And Finn used his force to pick out the main ship what that energy just went to. You see what I'm saying? The ship who was the new broadcaster. And Jaina was like, how do you know it's that ship? And he just simply said, a feeling. I feel like it's that ship. And true enough, it was that ship. And this is what we talked about. When you listen to your force, your intuition, your insights, usually at the end of the day, if you do what you need to do, you're going to come out on top. Literally, these two motherfuckers was on the ship that was getting ready to blow up, and goddamn, they teammates saved them in the nick of time, because, the force sustains you. You see what I'm saying? The source sustains you. And it ain't your time to go until the force or source says it's time to go. You see what I'm saying? Even in the most perilous of situations. That's what they showed with Finn and Jaina. So they destroyed that motherfucker and literally saved the galaxy. Because now the other ships were sitting ducks. So they just went around destroying the death rays, or the death cannons that they had attached to their ships, which automatically blew up the ships because they didn't have shields yet. They weren't able to access their shields until they left that planet. You see what I'm saying? Because it was real bad weather on the planet. So, creating shields would have attracted the lightning, and it would have been fucking striking them. You see what I'm saying? So, these freedom fighters, not no governments, freedom fighters showed up at the right moment to save everyone. So, now to save themselves. Everyone is them. You see what I'm saying? They are everyone. So they showed up, saved themselves, and freed themselves, showing you that, it's never been about governments. It's all about self-sovereignty. And what is self-sovereignty? Self-sovereignty, it is your ability to govern yourself, because you have a soul which allows you to govern yourself and walk your path to the best of your abilities. You see what I'm saying? That immortal consciousness inside of you. So that's what they showed in this movie. So they all got together, on the planet that they was on, rejoiced, I guess you could say, enjoyed themselves. And you seen, once again, this generation here finally, out of all the bullshit that didn't happen in Star Wars, they finally balanced out the Force for the first time ever. You see what I'm saying? There's war between the Sith and the Jedi. You see what I'm saying? That's been going on for 25,000 years, I think. Between the Sith and the Jedi. That's a long time. But that's what's going on. The Starseeds versus the Archons. It's a long time coming. So, what happens? What happens next? We see Rey. She revisits Luke's old home. And, she's looking around, and she buries Luke and Leia's lightsaber. And she shows her lightsaber, which was yellow. It was a yellow Rey, which is the Jedi Sentinel. The color of the Jedi Sentinel, because she's a techie. She was real good with technology. You see what I'm saying? Most Sentinels are real good with technology. So, which I thought was a fitting color for her. So a lady walked up to her and she said, "Nobody's been here in so long. So who are you?" And she looks off to the side and looks off to the distance and sees Luke and Leia Force Ghosts. And she said, "My name is Rey Skywalker." She changed her name because now she's graduated from the palpitations of the heart to becoming a Skywalker in her crown. You see what I'm saying? She's now a Skywalker, a Soul Walker, a Day Walker in her crowns because she's now a true and living mystic. You see what I'm saying? She's now a true and living mystic because everybody else, all the other Skywalkers have ascended. You see what I'm saying? They've done their job. They set it up perfectly for her, and she was able to piggyback off them and complete what they started. You see what I'm saying? So the circle was complete. So there you go. And so finally they was able to find balance in the Force, and she was the new Soul Walker or Day Walker or Skywalker on the block. And everybody did their job. Rogue Hero included Poe Dameron. He did what he was supposed to do, led the resistance in the battle. And, they fought, and, they did the best they could and completed the Journey of the Hero, the Knife movie. I mean, the Knife movie is 9 is completion and judgment. So you see the completion here. You see them wrap it all up for the first time. And you see them wrap it up a 43-year saga. You see what I'm saying? Or a saga that spanned for 43 years anyway. So there y'all go. That's what we seeing here. That's what we seeing. So, it's about time here. I'm gonna take this time here to give y'all some other books. This is Joseph Campbell's The Power of Myth. This is what got Star Wars started. Joseph Campbell was a master of mythologies. They called him the man with many myths. And George Lucas hired him on to help him build his myth, or Star Wars, as y'all know it now. And that's why the original Star Wars is so fucking good, because he used Joseph Campbell's teachings to create it. Also, the Book of Sith, of course, teaching the dark side teachings. And, of course, the Jedi Path, teaching the light side teachings. You see what I'm saying? So there's a few more books y'all can check out, for your delightment. You see what I'm saying? And, I had a revelation. It's one of the last things I want to talk about. I'm going to get up out of here. I had a revelation at work today. And I'm walking around. I work at I work security at a retirement home. And I'm walking around. You see all the old people, they suffering and in pain. But you can't feel sorry for them because in their time, they value intellectualism over spirit, over soul. They chose to pick intellectualism over soul. You see what I'm saying? They neocortex over their limbic system. And so since they chose one over the other, they had to suffer the consequences. And I was like, all that fucking textbook knowledge y'all learned, 15 degrees and shit. But y'all didn't take no time out to develop y'all souls and spirits. And so when you got older, you didn't have any life energies, no spiritual energies to protect you or to animate your physical body, because your physical body decays, right? Or even study enough of the chi teachers to heal yourself. They laughed at our people when we used to talk about the spiritual teachers. You see what I'm saying? They used to laugh at us. They used to talk. They used to look down on us when we used to talk about spirit and soul and shit. That shit ain't real. All that matters is how much money you make. You see what I'm saying? Money is God. But I had to ask them. Just looking at them suffering now. As elders. I had to ask them, where your God now? Where the money now? Yeah, the money got you paying for this facility, but you wouldn't even need this facility. You wouldn't need to spend $4,000 a month on this facility if your ass had studied the life force. You had studied your chi. You had studied the force if you had took the time out of the day to develop your spirits and soul, but y'all didn't do that. So now y'all suffering, with this the physical Decapitation is one thing not to know about some, but a lot of the elders actually knew about spirit thanks to the revolution. You know, a lot of teachings came out during the revolution, and they ignored them during that time period, and so they got locked back down. You see what I'm saying? They ignored those spiritual teachers during this time period. You see what I'm saying? Oh, we don't fuck with that. You know, it's just about Jesus and Allah. You know, and what's the other one? Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Moses. You know, motherfuckers who ain't got your back at the end of the day, and now they find that out the hard way. So I was looking at that shit, I was like, damn, you know, this is what happens when you neglect your spirit. At the end of the day, spirit gonna have the last laugh. You see what I'm saying? They taught me this lesson today, because, you know, death and rebirth. You know, immortality, you know, escaping the cycles of reincarnation. All this is coming into play when you know, you sitting here observing elders at a retirement home. You seeing these energies. You see what I'm saying? Firsthand. So that's what I've been looking at lately. I'm like, damn. So all this time, all this acquisition of finances and everything, but y'all didn't work on y'all spirits, and now when you need spirit the most, you ain't got it. You see what I'm saying? I was reading an old manga a long time ago. You know, I think it was called Kenji. And it was an old man in the manga. He was an Aikido master. And Kenji asked him, he said, Dan, how old are you? He was like, oh, I'm 8. He was in his 70s or 80s. He was anywhere from his 60s to his 80s. But I'm going to say he was in his 70s. From what I remember, he was like, "Oh, I'm in my 70s." He was like, "Why?" He was like, "Damn, you still move like you in your 20s." He was like, "Because I still move like that because I still am connected to the force. I've learned how to channel the force inside of me so much so till it sustains and nourishes my physical body. You know, that's my spiritual energy sustain and nourish my physical body so to a point where you know, it's just like eating food or drinking water. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And that's what they showed you. And he was just as good in 70 as he was at 20 because of these spiritual energies he had. And you know, they call it Aiki in Aikido. You see what I'm saying? They call this force Aiki. You see what I'm saying? This spiritual energy that they have. But you know, over here in America, they shun that shit. See what I'm saying? They shun the spiritual teachings. And that's why over there in fucking the East, and they still have their spiritual teachers intact, yoga, tai chi, qigong, and everything. And them motherfuckers live to be 300, 400. It's Taoist masters walking around 500-600 years old. You see what I'm saying? Because they kept up with the teachers. They kept up with the force. Whereas over here, we neglected the force, and you see the state of everybody after they reach a certain age. Hey, after 60, them motherfuckers start dying off. You see what I'm saying? Hell, some of them start dying off between 40 and 40 and 50. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Because the human body is supposed to be able to last for 1,000 years. But you need them spiritual energies because the planet's so fucked up right now to sustain you. You see what I'm saying? To sustain, you have to learn to develop those spiritual energies inside of you. Learn to channel them through your body so they continue to nourish and cultivate your physical body and keep it healthy. You see what I'm saying? So you know, or at least nullify whatever the hell going on to your body till you can figure out what's going on with you. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. That's what America is suffering from. They suffering from neglect of spirit, neglect of soul. I was reading the Hopi prophecy this morning, and they even said, they said, in the last days, motherfuckers will not be connected to their hearts and spirits. And so since they won't be connected to their hearts and spirits, they will just waste away. Which is what I'm seeing at this retirement home. I'm just seeing, you know, the preliminaries. But now you got young people who don't fuck with their spirits and they're just wasting away because they don't fuck with the original ancient teachers. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you don't fuck with the force. When you don't invest in your spirit gonna always have the last laugh. Your soul gonna always have the last laugh. At the end of the day, like Tahuti told them, moral law, you gotta always go through me. Tahuti is what? your spiritual thought, your spiritual wisdom, your Gnostic wisdom. That's what he represents. So at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of motherfuckers is dying is because they don't fuck with their spirits like that. You know, they too busy chasing fucking the almighty dollar, which is dying, which is a fiat currency. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. That's what y'all seeing. That's what y'all seeing. But a lot of starseeds have come back to show you that you need to work on your inner selves, your internal selves. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, if you ain't got these spiritual, your spirit right and your soul right, what's up, Devin? Then you at risk of being wiped out. You see what I'm saying? Just like, go back and read the Hopi prophecies, the indigenous teachers, the indigenous last day prophecies of the Hopi. You see what I'm saying? It's on my page if you want to check it out. So, and they tell you, if you ain't connected to your spirit and soul and heart right now, and going back to the original ancient esoteric teachings, you at risk of being wasted away. But if you are connected to your spiritual teachings and your heart and the ancient ways, and have reconnected yourself to those original Jedi lineages, wizard, magi lineages, and psychic oracle lineages, you have remade that connection, then you will be chosen to continue on after this world ends. They tell you this in the prophecy. You know, the blue Kachina and the red Kachina. The blue Kachina was seen in the sky some years ago. The red Kachina is named the Nibiru, which has also been seen in the sky. So most of the Hopi prophecies have actually come true. Everybody, you know, they got motherfuckers running to Africa to find prophecies. Your indigenous people right here on this land telling you what it is, but you don't want to listen. And since it's on this land, they're gonna tell you how it's gonna affect your land that you're living on in America. They told you about the confusion of the sexes and all that. They give you straight game in the Hopi prophecies. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what's going on. Know what's going on. You know, invest in your spirit, invest in your force, invest in your soul. And at the end of the day, I guarantee you, your soul and spirit will not let you down. Like they showed you in Rise of Skywalker, like they showed you in The Matrix, like they showed you in anything else, in Avatar, like they showed you in any other spiritual movie, sci-fi movie, at the end of the day. Inception. You see what I'm saying? If you invest in your spiritual, mental, and soulful capabilities, at the end of the day, you're going to win out. You see what I'm saying? No matter the struggles, you're going to go through struggles. You're going to go through struggles, but that's all right. That's okay. The struggles just make you stronger. What they said, work fortifies the spirit. As they said in the little game I played, work fortifies the spirit. So when you put in this spiritual work, you know it's just making you stronger. You see what I'm saying? Fortifying your melanin. You see what I'm saying? So best believe the more your melanin get fortified, the more darkness you can access, and through that darkness, the more light you can generate. You see what I'm saying? And with that light, the more consciousness that you have, and the bigger and stronger your spirits and soul becomes, and you begin your energies begin to leak out of this physical body into the world around you and begin to alter it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes you the Jedi, the living, breathing force wielder or force warrior on the planet. So there y'all go. That pretty much wraps up part 2 to the Star Wars movies, the Star Wars mythos. The finale. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, I hope this helps. You know, hope y'all can do something with this and, you know, help on your journey. You see what I'm saying? Help you find your way. But are there any questions? I'll take questions now. Any questions? Any questions before I get up out of here? What's up, Dorothy? And I'm just waiting on balance. That's what's up. Any questions before I go? Well, alright. Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Let everybody know what it is. And I'm out. Peace.